Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakorash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us the truth. A sincere shalom to the hopeful electors out there listening, learning, and or teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you all. All right, so I got this article pulled up that came out yesterday, November 20, 2025. It says the shutdown may be over, but millions are still set to lose food stamps. You see? All right. So, hey, man, they gave these people, a little bit of hope, and boom, it's not really hope, man. Now, of course, some of them are going to get it back, or most of them, okay? But what they're doing is they're implementing that gradualism, man. They're making it, because imagine if they would have cut it all off at once, that would have been immediate chaos, which is what we were hoping for, okay? But it's going to be more gradual, man. They got that, basically, they're going to cause a lot of people to lose it, man, all right, based off of certain circumstances that we're going to go into, okay? And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and jump right into it, man. All right, it says Trump and the GOP's big, beautiful bill passed earlier this year includes the largest cut to SNAP in history. And those cuts are starting now. You see, they set it up way back when that big, beautiful bill came out. Right, and now the effects are going to start after that government shutdown. Then the government reopened, right? But notice, that's very interesting how they did it. They made you feel like you were going to lose it. And then all they're doing now is, because of the big, beautiful bill, they're making you work harder to still get it. But if they would have made you work harder to still get it, there might have been too much outrage. See, they're measuring these things too. The way we, the prophets, here at Great Millstone, measure the time diligently in itself. Okay, these devils, according to Psalm 64, all right, their inward thought is deep, man. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is Psalms chapter 64. All right. And we're just going to read verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, right? Which the heart is the mind, is deep, right? So their mind is deep. So they know how much chaos they need in order to get the response they want from you people out here, you Babylonians, for them to push their NWO. Okay, they want the chaos, but they want it on their time. They want it on a specific time, in a specific way. Okay, and really it's the Lord's time, because as we know, the Lord controls all things, man. All right. Isaiah, what was that? Isaiah, let's see. Isaiah, it talks about I am the Lord and there is none else. I think it's Isaiah 47 and 5. No, Isaiah 45. Yeah, Isaiah 45. We'll start at verse 5. Actually, we'll just get straight to the point. This is Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord, the Heavenly Father, being the ultimate puppet master, okay, is having these elites working overtime, all right, to, create this chaos that they're about to create here. And they're going to use gradualism. Okay, that's why I got this word pulled up.
Gradualism.
Gradualism, a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. You see? And, that's basically what they want. They don't want to just go all out right away. They have to do it strategically. Order out of chaos. Ordo ab chaos. Pressure from above, pressure from beneath, right? It's a Latin phrase meaning order out of chaos. It is a motto for the Freemasons and represents the idea of bringing order to a chaotic state, whether in a literal, spiritual, or symbolic sense, right? So they create the chaos, then they offer the solution. The phrase signifies creating structure, harmony, and clarity from disorder, right? From disorder, which who creates the disorder? They themselves do it. You see? Because they play both sides, Democrats, Republicans, right? And the same thing here, man. They're going to create this chaos gradually. They're going to have you people start starving out gradually until, they deemed you suffered enough for you to be able to accept their NWO and their ultimately that chip that they want to put in everybody, man. All right. Let's jump into the article real quick. The roughly 42 million Americans who rely on food stamps did not receive their November 1 SNAP benefits as the government shutdown dragged on, right? So they all missed some of their stamps, right? Some of their benefits. It says the missed payments came just as the holiday season began, leaving many families struggling to put food on the table. Lines at food banks backed up traffic across the country. Yeah, man, when you go to the store, you see that they got like donations from food banks and stuff that's free, or I think it's free or it's very discounted, at the grocery store, man. I just went today. All right. It says the Trump administration defied federal court orders to restore full funding to the program before the Supreme Court's conservative majority temporarily greenlit the freeze. The White House even tried to claw back funding from the states that had already distributed to hungry families. Lawmakers have now negotiated to an end to the shutdown, but the threat to the nation's primary nutrition assistance program is far from over. As the government reopens, millions will lose access to food stamps starting almost immediately. All right, and this is what we was talking about earlier. Well, why is it going to happen? It says the GOP's big, beautiful bill passed earlier this year guts core safety net programs to fund tax cuts for billionaires, mass deportation efforts, and bloated military spending. Yeah, so, he's helping the rich, all right, spending money on the military and fucking up Jake. That's at the forefront of Donald Trump's mind. That's what he wants. And he doesn't care about you hungry people, and a lot of you magtards either, man. A lot of you Edomite magtard retards, man, out here talking about how we're the problem. Hey, look at you. Now you're in the same boat as Jake. You bunch of dumb asses, man. Which we don't concern ourselves with you two-time losers anyway. Okay. But yeah, man, everybody's going to get it, man. This is a time of judgment. 2/3 Jake is going to get it. Especially a lot of you hyenas, man. You big Shirley, big Keishas, man. Weighing 300 pounds. Because all you eat is junk food and garbage that's brought to you by the government. All these food stamps saying you don't need a man. You weigh 300 pounds. You don't need a man. Well, you about to lose weight real quick, man. A lot of you women about to lose weight. All right, and men, because there's men on this program as well. All right, but especially you women, man. Especially you women. All right. It says the GOP law includes the largest SNAP cuts in history, slashing our most important and effective anti-hunger program by roughly 20%. People in every state are at risk of losing their food benefits. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, one of the main ways the bill cuts SNAP is by expanding harsh and ineffective work requirements, right? So now you're going to have to work in order to get the benefits, but we do know the more you work, the more money you make, the less benefits you're going to get anyway. So, they put you people between a rock and a hard place, man. You basically going to have to get your ass to work to make a little bit of benefits. And that's it. They put in a real big cap on these SNAP programs, man. It says these new rules will strip food assistance from millions of people, including children, seniors, veterans, and individuals with disabilities. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the change will cause 2.4 million people to lose benefits in an average month. Damn. That's a lot. It says those rules are now in effect just as families prepare to celebrate Thanksgiving and winter holidays, which, hey, you Jake shouldn't be celebrating those holidays anyway, man. Thanksgiving is the celebration of the destruction of the children of Israel. Okay, and these winter holidays, those are ancient Babylonian holidays anyway. Going all the way back to Babylon, this fucking Christmas where they cut a tree and put it in the forest. Let's get that real quick. For those of you that are new and don't know, we don't celebrate Christmas here at Great Millstone, man. That's a pagan holiday. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain, right, which means pointless. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Right, so they cut a tree out of the forest. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not, right? That's your Christmas tree right there, man. You know, except the people that celebrate it now, they don't put gold on their Christmas tree because everybody's, and here in America, they just use plastic that looks like gold and silver, but it's the same concept. All right, verse 5, they are upright as the palm tree, but they speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go, right? They need to be carried because they can't go on their own. And what is the Lord, when the Lord's using this language, he's talking about idols, man. These dumb idols, they can't speak, they can't walk, right? It says, be not afraid of them, right? Meaning don't obey no idols, man, right? Because our people fell away by worshiping idols, obeying these different customs and commandments of these different religions and idols. It says, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good, right? An idol can't punish you, and an idol cannot bless you, man. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai right there is telling you, celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all these punk-ass, bitch-ass holidays, that's idol worship, man. So cut it out, Yasharallah. Cut it out or you're going to get judged, all right? You're going to get judged. Research shows, so back in the article, research shows such requirements have little effect on employment. Most working age adults enrolled in these programs are already working, and those who are not employed often face high barriers such as caregiving responsibilities or health conditions. Instead, these requirements cause many people who should qualify for SNAP to lose benefits due to red tape and administrative error, right? Yeah, so the people who actually need it, that can't work, now they ain't going to get it. And then on top of that, we know we have a hiring crisis, man. There's no jobs out here. There's more people than there are jobs. So really, basically, through the stroke of their pen, they're going to cause a lot of people to be killed, man. You know, that's that mischief, frameth mischief by law, man. You know, this is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Right? These Edomites, these devils are framing mischief into law. Okay, because what's going to happen is they're not going to remove SNAP benefits from you people, but they're going to frame it into the law to where it's going to cause you to lose the benefits any fucking way. It's the same thing. Right? But now, you know, it's not going to look like he did it. So they hide behind their paperwork, man. But these devils, they're a bunch of murderers, man. All right? The scriptures say, he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him. All right? Real quick. This is Sirach 34 and 22. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him. Right? So you remove your neighbor's ability to work. You killing him. It says, he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. And that's what they doing, man. They defrauding you of your hire by causing AI to take all your jobs. So now you can't get a job. But you still got to pay their expensive ass bills that they're causing to go up and up and up and up. So these devils are murderers, man. These so-called white people, the same people that damn near genocided the Native American Indians, man. The same fucking people that put the so-called black man in hardcore, brutal slavery and did all manner of reprehensible things to the so-called blacks here in America, okay, and to the so-called Latinos, okay. You see what they're doing with ICE. Their attitude has never changed, man. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You know? And that's why we are pushing out this truth to warn our people, man. Okay, the Lord told us never trust thine enemy. All right, I'm going to get back into the article. I just want to grab this real quick. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. Who is our enemies, man? You go into Psalms 83 and it tells you that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is one of our enemies. And who are we? We are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites of the Bible. And our enemies are these Edomites. And not only are they our enemies, they're the enemies of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And you can see that with their great arrogance they have against the Lord and against his creation, destroying his creation, man. There's an island the size of Texas in the ocean composed of plastic waste, and it's killing off the marine animals, poisoning our waters, man. Not to mention all the different chemicals they're throwing into the oceans, rivers, into the soil. Chemicals they're putting into the air, into your food. Okay, they're destroying the earth. These are our enemies. And what are we to do? Never trust your enemy. For like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness, man. All right? You got a cast iron pan at your house. You know not to leave it full of water because guess what? It's going to rust the next day. The same way that iron, you know it's going to rust, is the same way you know these so-called white people are going to do something evil, man. That's just how they are. That's the way the Lord made them, man. All right? And you Israelites that have stumbled at the fact that we hate the Edomites, that we hate these heathens out here. Okay, the fact that you stumble at that, that's not our problem. All right? But you're going to learn it the fucking hard way, man, when this devil brings his claws out. And he's bringing them out, man. He's bringing them out. And he's been bringing them out. All right? It says, as the government resumes normal operations, the fight against hunger must continue. The GOP law also shifts SNAP costs onto states for the first time in the program's history. This vital food program has always been fully federally funded, but the new budget will require states to take on a significant share of the expenses. And that's going to cause the states to lose money and possibly start taxing people more. It's a domino effect, man. The unprecedented burden shift will likely lead many states to cut enrollees or even terminate food aid programs entirely for the first time since their inception, causing even more people to go hungry. As the government resumes normal operations, the fight against hunger must continue. SNAP has long proven to be highly effective, reducing food insecurity and hunger, especially among children. We have the tools to fight hunger. We must continue to use them. The richest country in the world, no one should go hungry. Right, the richest country in the world, and they can't feed anybody because they want to hoard wealth. They want to create a false sense of scarcity to do what? To keep people as slaves, man. That's all this thing is a giant fucking plantation, man. You know? Like that angry so-called black man was saying. That one guy that was on that video, I believe, was it on X or TikTok? I don't remember, but it was on TikTok talking about, I don't want to do this shit anymore. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, you're right. It doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Right, we've been telling you it doesn't make sense. But see, you people, you got to learn it the hard way. You don't want to hear it from the mouth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So you're going to hear it by the sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right? Let's get that real quick. All right, because again, we read it. The Lord controls good and evil. Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Cast who down? Esau Edom. Deliver my soul from the wicked, right? The wicked is Esau Edom, pursuing to Malachi 1:4, which is thy sword, right? The Lord's sword that he whoops our ass with is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That's right. You Edomites are the border of wickedness, man. All right, wherever there's a border around you Edomites, there's wickedness going on in there, man. you know that's your nation. You Edomites are the wicked on the earth. It says, in the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. That's right. The Lord has a righteous hatred and anger against these so-called white people. All right, so we're not going to say it like that one dude that said, oh, we don't hate white people. The Lord hates them. No, we hate them, man. We hate them, man. All right, we hate them and the Lord hates them. How about that? You know, that's the truth. All right, we don't sugarcoat nothing here at Great Millstone, man. All right, and I want to bring out a few points, man. I went into the chat and I had the chat analyze this article real quick. You know, just to not waste time looking up redundant laws of Esau and putting it together, man. The chat's going into it, so I basically told it, you know, to what are the new work requirements caused by the big beautiful bill referred to in the article, and it kind of goes into it. All right, so we're gonna go into a few of these, man. It says expanded age range for work requirements. All right, so from 18 to 54 is what it used to be. Now it's up to age 64, man. So they want people of retiring age who can't afford food. They want you to go get your ass up and go to work so you can get your food stamps. You see? Stricter exemptions with children or with parents. Salakia, for parents with children. Okay, so, you know, before parents with a dependent child under 18 were generally exempt from the ABAW work requirement. Right. So if a parent had a child under 18, they didn't have to get up and go to work to get their food stamps. But now, only if the child is under 14. So if your child is 14 and up, you got to get your ass up and go to work. If you got to get your ass up and go to work, you know, you probably can't afford a babysitter. Hey, that 14-year-old is going to be at the house by himself, whatever. Which, you know, 14-year-old should be good. But, you know, still, it's causing the family to be divided. The mom or the dad has to go to work, whatever. The child stays home alone. You know, it's just causing the destruction of this kingdom, man, slowly but surely, man. And actually, it's speeding up real fast, man. Real fast. There's so much going on right now. You know, we trying to cover the most we can, but hey, we can't cover everything. You know, it says removed exemptions. The bill eliminates some previously allowed exemptions. People experiencing homelessness are no longer exempt. Right. So if you homeless, all right, you sleeping outside on a bench in your car, hey, you better take your ass to the gas station, put some of that water on your face, and get your ass up and go to work. So you could go ahead and get these food stamps, man. You see, this devil is this man is the devil, man. All right, but it's really a trap, man. It's not really gonna help you that much because can't nobody get a job anyway. You telling me a homeless man is gonna go out there and outcompete people that have homes and, you know, people that got their shit together. There's people that got their shit together that can't even get a job, man. So they basically cutting off the people who are already going through it, man. You see? And hey, if there's homeless brothers out there, I'm not, you know, laughing at your calamity per se. I'm laughing at the at the 2/3 calamity and these heathens, man. If you a brother that's homeless or going through it, man, hey, I'm throwing up my prayers for you, and I hope that you can get a job and be able to continue, the most important thing is to continue in this truth. It says veterans lose their exemption under the work requirement, right? And that's fucking wicked as hell, man. You know, these people always talking about the military, but they don't give a shit about their own veterans, man. The people who fought and died for this wicked ass country. You see, these wicked people don't even care about their own wicked veterans, man. You see? All right, this is Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war, right? That's a veteran. Okay, that's a warrior. That suffereth poverty, right, man? Hey, if you went to war for a nation, you should be set for life. You shouldn't be fucking out here laying on a park bench with Trump telling you to get your ass up and go work at McDonald's. After you done risked your life for this country, man. You see, this place is a fucking joke. America's a fucking joke. It says, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepareth such an one for the sword. That's right, man. So you brothers in this truth, you better stay in this truth, man. There's no way out. We here. This is what we signed up for. Okay, after tasting and seeing that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is good, after getting all this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, what type of fucking person would you be to throw that away just to go back to this fake ass world. You see? So you're worthy of death if you do that, man. So hey, that's why the scripture says, there's a Psalms that talks about a prayer. It says, Lord, take not thy Holy Spirit from me. You know, because as soon as this understanding goes away from you, you're going to select it. As soon as this understanding goes away from you, you're going to fall back into the world and you're going to be destroyed, man. All right, so it's important to consistently stay in the scriptures, building up your faith, praying and believing, man. You know, ultimately it's up to it's according to the election which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has established before the foundation of the world. Okay, but we still gotta give diligence to make our calling and election sure. This is our work. This is our discipline. This is our life. This is what we live for now, man. We can't leave this truth, and you shouldn't want to leave this truth. All right, this is everything. This truth is all I got, man. This truth is all I got. You know, and it's all that matters. You know, and I pray and hope you brothers and sisters out there feel the same way, because it really is all we got. In this wicked ass world, we ain't got shit. All right, let me go to Psalms 23 real quick. I want to go down to, you know what? We'll just read it from the top, man. It says, Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know, the Lord is our shepherd through these scriptures. All right. And we know according to the scriptures, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. You know, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, is that good shepherd, man. So the Heavenly Father through his Son, right? He's our shepherd, man. All right. And the sheep is the elect of Israel. Okay. And basically, you know, through his spirit, he gave us all that we need. We don't have any holes in our heart. We're not out here looking for anything. We're good. We're good because these scriptures, right? These scriptures give us all that we need through the Spirit. All right, verse 2. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters, right? You think about sheep, you know, heaven on earth for them is them green pastures, all that green grass, as far as the eye can see. Okay, it says he leadeth me beside the still waters, right? You know, so, you know, that's going into how we have a calm mind. All right, especially in the time we're coming into, which is the time of Jacob's trouble. These people of the world are going to be bugging the fuck out, man. But we're going to be calm, cool, and collected, man. You know, the Lord has, you know, woken us up, man. All right, verse 3. Salakia, verse 3. He restoreth my soul, and he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake, right? So the Lord woke us up for his sake. All right. And, you know, that's all I wanted to go into on that, man. You know, actually, we could grab verse 5 real quick. Or verse 4, it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is America, right? This is a valley of the shadow of death, right? That land is as darkness itself without any order. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me, right? That rod and that staff being the scriptures, man. So these scriptures have given us confidence and understanding, man. You know, that's why it's going to give us that calm mind. You know, like it says in verse 2, he leads us beside the still waters, you know. The sheep, they like still waters. They don't want no crazy, you know, waters, man. They want them still waters. That's us, man. We got these still waters. These scriptures are the waters, man. Okay, and that's why Isaiah 33 and 6, you know, goes into how important, you know, the scriptures are, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. All right, Isaiah 33 and 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. What times? These times we're coming into, these hellacious times of Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, right? What wisdom and knowledge? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, which is what? The Ruach Kodash, the Holy Spirit, which is what? The comforters, right? Because these scriptures comfort us, man. We know what's going on. We have no doubt in our mind about what's going on. So much so that we look forward to all hell breaking loose, man. You know, talk about stoicism. That's the real stoicism, man, is these scriptures, man, this truth. Okay, because we know we can control what we can't. The Lord has already set everything in stone, man, and we have a good chance of being the elect if we continue to do these things that we're supposed to be doing. All right, it says in strength of salvation, right? The strength of our salvation is this truth. The fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is his treasure. That's right, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's why we in the truth. We fear the Lord. You see, we trust in him, we fear him, we respect him. You people of the world don't respect him. You don't give two shits about the Lord, man. Until you're on your deathbed, then you care, but then it'll be too late. For a lot of you, it's going to be too late, man. You better get your asses in order now. All right, you wicked Israelites, man. All right, it continues back in Chat GPT. People who age out of foster care, young former foster youth also lose their exemption. New exemption. There's a new exemption for certain indigenous groups, Indians, urban Indians, and California Indians, as defined in the Indian Health Care Improvement Act. Okay. And let's see. Verse, or not verse, but the fifth point, stricter waiver rules for geographic waivers, implemented age exception. Yes, there may be some chaos now because they're giving it to the indigenous, apparently, right? Which that could cause some division. Which that's what this devil wants. He wants division. He wants all hell to break loose. But he wants to do it, in a calculated way so that he could bring order out of it through what? His chip, man. And that's ultimately where prophecy is heading, man. These things all work together. The shutdowns, they just started doing digital IDs in the state of Illinois. So you've got the state of Utah and you got the state of Illinois here in the United States of America. And fucking Babylon the Great, this shitter. You got two states doing digital IDs now. Okay, so everything is heading in that path, man. All right, as the scriptures say. Right? Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Learn the parable of the fig tree. Right? Learn the parable of the fig tree. All right, real quick, and then we'll close out, Lord's will. All right. This is Matthew 24 and verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. Right? So that when a branch is tender and it's bringing out them leaves, you know that the summer is near. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. That's right. So when you start to see prophecy getting fulfilled, you start to see these devils putting in laws to cause certain things to happen, which we know are in prophecy. When we see everything heading to a digital dystopian system, we see that they're trying to starve out the people, and they're trying to get people to rely on that universal basic income eventually, right? There's a lot of talks about that by the same guy that's working with AI and robots to replace you people. He's the same guy who has the brain chip, and the same guy who's saying that you people need to be on universal basic income, not just universal basic income, but universal high income, because to him it's like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna be set. Just submit to our new system and you're gonna be rich, and then you can just go to work for fun. You're not gonna have to work to make money. It's just for fun. It's optional. The perfect utopia. But we know that's not where these devils are heading, man. It's gonna be a perfect dystopia. All right, for them it'll be perfect. For you it'll be hell on earth. All right, and it's all leading to the digital ID and eventually the chip, which is ultimately what the scriptures talk about, is the chip. This is Matthew 24:34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. That's right, man. So when you see all these things happening, okay, this is it. This generation, Yahweh Shai will come in our lifetime. All right, Yahweh Shai will come in our lifetime. This is it, man. Revelation 13 and 15, real quick. All right, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. The beast speaks through his philosophies, This American way of life, these laws, these wicked beliefs, there's this white supremacy with this plantation Christianity, you know, these wicked laws that they set forth, women's liberation, Moism, right? Them wanting to do things to your children. You see? They want to do that to your children, and they're going to be able to with this system. You see? And you ain't going to be able to speak out against it because they're going to cause you to be killed. How? Social credit score system, digital IDs, and eventually the chip that goes in your hand or in your brain. At that point, you won't be able to use fraud or trickery with these digital ID apps. People could hack into them. People could, use another person's digital ID, whatever. But once they get that chip, that's it, man. They're going to have complete dominance over you people's mind, soul, and body, man. You see? So that they could do whatever they want. They could push whatever laws they want. They could push whatever beliefs they want on you people. Whatever they want you to believe, whatever they want you to do. Okay, the same way, this whole American Westernism, this whole society is set up, man. This Epicurean style, consumerism, all these different things that come to mind when you think of America, man. That's what they want to do. They want to mandate that worldwide through an AI-driven digital system, man. This control with AI and, mass surveillance, right? These dystopian movies you see. All right, that's predictive programming. They're getting you used to the idea by making you think it's a joke, and you subconsciously have accepted it as a joke, but really you accepted it as your future. Because a lot of you people are with it, man. You're not doing anything against it. You're not coming up against it. So what are you going to do? You're just going to get your asses in line when they do it. Unless you're standing for Yahweh Shem Shai. As we are here in Great Millstone, our affiliates, and those who are believers, all right? Lord's will, be of the elect. Lord's will, you brothers and sisters, be of the elect. We're going to stand 10 toes down, and we're not going to take this chip, man. And we may be killed, and so be it. All right? It continues, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's right. That's how they're going to do it, through that chip. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. That's that RFID chip. Or in their forehead. That's that Neuralink. That's that Synchron. All right? Revelation 13:17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's right. So if you don't get that chip, you're getting cut off of society, man. You're either going to adhere to what they say or you're going to be a nomad and put all faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And all chips on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? You know what? And the beautiful thing is, those who put all their faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we're going to be awarded, man, for that. We're going to be awarded, man. And these devils who are in their little round table meetings and their little underground bunkers hiding, plotting this shit out, man, they're going to be on our plantations when this shit is done, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, that's the good news. That's the gospel, man. All right, all this hell was being put on us, we're going to get revenge for it, and we're ultimately going to be at peace, us Israelites, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, starting with the hopeful elect. Starting with the elect, the 144,000. All right, starting with them, and then the rest of the elect, and then the 2/3 when they come back, we all going to be good in the kingdom, man. All right, and these heathens are going to be in their place beneath us, where they ought to be, because, this shit is crazy, man. These look how they got this fucking world, man. They got all these people. They could be a part of a wonderful society, a powerful society, a prestigious society. But no, they out here begging. Their fucking ankles are broken. Their knees are broken. Their back's fucked up. They go to these so-called physicians and they tell them that it's all in their head and they got to take pill after pill after pill after pill. Go here, go there, do this, do that. Spending all their money they don't have. Getting taxed to death. Oh, now you can't get food, so now everybody else got to feed them. You see? Because these devils want to have one more golden toilet in their mansion, This shit doesn't make any type of fucking sense, man. May Yahweh Bashim Yahushai destroy this place quicker, man. Abad babal to this fucking wicked ass kingdom, man. But yeah, man, with that, I want to pray. I want to finish by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakurash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. A sincere shalom to the whole collectors out there. Shalom wa, abad babal, shalom.